Here's the truth. The Roman philosophers who lived more than 2,000 years ago worried about the same things we do now. They too faced fear, loss, judgment from others, and the constant temptation to choose comfort over growth. Stoicism is not abstract theory. It's a survival toolkit for living well in chaos. And what makes it truly powerful is also what makes it brutal. Its lessons are harsh, unpolished, and often hard to swallow. But precisely because they are hard, they can reshape your life. In this first part, we'll uncover 5 of the 10 brutal Stoic lessons that can change the way you see yourself, others, and the world around you. 1. You don't control the world. You only control your response. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." It sounds obvious, but here's the brutal reality. Almost everything in your life is outside your control. You can't stop the rain, you can't prevent people from gossiping, and you can't guarantee your plans will always succeed. The more you try to control the uncontrollable, the more exhausted and disappointed you become. The Stoic lesson is, let go of the illusion of control. If you're stuck in traffic, see it as practice in patience. If someone dislikes you, ask yourself whether you've lived according to your values beyond that. Their opinion is out of your hands. From the moment you accept that your reaction is the only thing that belongs to you, you free yourself from endless frustration. 2. Life is shorter than you think. Ask anyone if they know they'll grow old and die, and they'll nod. But their daily behavior tells a different story. Endless procrastination, wasted hours on social media, petty arguments, and constant consumption to numb emptiness. Seneca wrote in On the Shortness of Life, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." The brutal truth, you will die, and probably sooner than you think. This isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to wake you up. Memento mori, remember that you will die, isn't pessimism, it's focus. When you realize death shadows every step, you stop wasting hours scrolling your phone and instead spend them with family, writing the book you've been postponing, or finally taking that risk. 3. No one owes you anything. This lesson stings. No one owes you love, recognition, or kindness. You can be a good person and still be treated badly. You can work hard and still not get promoted. Expecting fairness from the world is a recipe for disappointment. Epictetus put it simply, don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. Instead of demanding, focus on your own standards. Live with integrity because it's your choice, not because you expect a reward. Love because you choose to give, not because you expect it back. When you drop the belief that the world owes you anything, you live lighter, freer, and less bitter. 4. Emotions are not facts. Modern culture often says, trust your feelings. But the Stoics would add, feelings are signals, not ultimate truth. Anger doesn't prove you've been insulted. Fear doesn't mean disaster is certain. The brutal lesson. If you let emotions rule you, you become their slave. The Stoics practiced the art of the pause, that brief gap between stimulus and response. In that gap lies freedom. When criticized, you can choose to learn instead of defend. When anxious, you can choose to act instead of retreat. Strength isn't the absence of emotion. It's the ability to see beyond emotion and choose wisely. 5. Suffering is inevitable. Nobody wants pain, but Stoicism reminds us to live is to suffer. Illness, loss, failure, these are not exceptions, they are guarantees. Avoiding suffering makes you weaker, so when it does arrive, and it always does, you collapse. Marcus Aurelius wrote, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Pain is not in the event, but in your interpretation. Illness can be tragedy or a reminder to value health. Losing a job can be disaster or a new door opening. The brutal truth: there is no life without suffering, only the choice of what suffering means to you. These first 5 lessons hit hard. You don't control the world. Life is short. No one owes you anything. Emotions aren't facts, and suffering is guaranteed. Harsh truths, yes, but they also strip away illusions. In the second part, we'll explore 5 more lessons about ego, comparison, silence, discipline, and freedom. 6. Your ego is your greatest enemy. If anything blocks growth, it's the ego. Ego makes us believe we're special, that others should respect us, and that we deserve recognition. But the Stoics saw ego as a poison. It blinds you and makes you fragile. A small win turns into arrogance. A small insult ruins your week. Seneca said, "He who boasts of his ancestry praises what belongs to another." Fame, wealth, status, these are fragile and temporary. The brutal lesson: do the work quietly. Let results speak louder than ego. Ego is not strength, it's baggage. Free yourself from it, and you become flexible, humble, and resilient. 7. Comparison breeds misery. We live in the social media age, where every scroll reminds you that someone else is richer, prettier, or more successful. But the Stoics already knew comparison is meaningless because you don't live another person's circumstances, fate, or challenges. Epictetus taught, don't look at what others have, look at what is within your control. Focus on your own habits, character, and growth. The brutal truth: the only person worth comparing yourself to is who you were yesterday. If you're calmer than last week, more patient than last month, more focused than last year, you've won. Any other comparison is theft of peace. 8. Silence is stronger than words. In a noisy world where everyone is desperate to express an opinion, Stoicism whispers, silence is power. You don't need to join every debate. You don't need to answer every insult. Marcus Aurelius advised, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly hard. To remain silent under attack requires far more strength than to lash out. The brutal lesson: most words are unnecessary. Speak less, observe more, act wisely. Silence saves energy, builds respect, and shields you from endless conflict. 9. True freedom comes from discipline. It seems contradictory. How can discipline lead to freedom? But Stoicism insists, discipline is the only real freedom. Without it, you're a slave to your cravings, laziness, and distractions. With it, you master yourself and unlock choice. Epictetus, once a slave himself, wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." You may be wealthy but addicted to your phone, you're not free. You may be modest in income but free from need, you're freer than most. The brutal truth: freedom arrives only after discipline. Waking early, exercising, focusing at work, honoring commitments, small acts of discipline accumulate into a life of true liberty. 10. You'll be forgotten sooner than you think. This final lesson is the hardest. After you die, people won't remember you for long. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, reminded himself that even the most famous names fade into dust. This doesn't make life meaningless, it makes it urgent. Don't live for legacy or recognition. Live for your values now. The brutal lesson: focus on living rightly, not on being remembered. Because remembrance is out of your control, but virtue in the present moment is always yours. The 10 Stoic lessons are all harsh but liberating. You don't control the world, only your response. Life is shorter than you think. No one owes you anything. Emotions aren't facts. Suffering is inevitable. Ego is the enemy. Comparison creates misery. Silence is strength. Freedom requires discipline. You'll be forgotten. They don't sugarcoat life. They strip away illusions. They don't promise easy happiness, but they offer stability and strength in a chaotic world. And perhaps that's the kind of power we need most today.